have a plan. The biggest thing is make sure you have different modes of receiving weather alerts, information, so on and so forth. There's all kinds of apps. There's NOAA Weather Radio. There's our local news media. I do want to give an update on our outdoor warning sirens. So we did have an issue with them a few weeks ago. That was due to a software update. We did test those sirens Wednesday. We had people positioned at probably about 55 sites, and they all worked. So it appears that we are up and running. But I will stress two things. One is there is no promise. It's just like your car. You may get up one morning and it doesn't start. So have different modes of receiving those alarms. Plus, what some people don't understand is they're called outdoor warning sirens for a reason. They're meant to be heard outside. I get it if you've got a siren in your front yard that you're going to hear it. But if you're on the outskirts of what the radius of that siren is, then if you're inside, you're most likely not going to hear it during a storm. So with that said, we also have our chief elected officials, Mayor Tommy Battle, Mayor Paul Finley, and Chairman Mac McCutcheon. At this point, I'd like to call on Mayor Tommy Battle.
Thank you, Jeff, and I can't stress enough, this is a event that's been tracking for the past 2 weeks. This is an event that we need to take a lot of care with, and we need to be weather alert all the way starting through tonight and all the way starting through tomorrow night. As Michael Robinson said in this, he said he wanted to reiterate in his weather, he is one of our weather sources that we use on a constant basis. He said, tomorrow is not the time to take the weather for granted. Very dangerous weather is a distinct possibility. And for each of you, be sure as you go out that you are weather aware and you know what the situation is. A few things that we need to let the public know. Transit will be suspending service at 3 p.m. on Saturday. And if you have any to report damage on city property or damage that is necessary for to be cleaned up, please contact us at huntsvilleal.gov at Huntsville Connects. And if you go to Huntsville Connects, you'll be able to get to the department that you need to get to. Also, the non-emergency line with our police force, 722-7100, will be working. That's a great place for to be able to go to get instant information. Again, we reiterate that this is one to take seriously. Let's make sure that we all come out of this safe. Thank you.
Okay, at this point, we'll go to Chairman Mac McCutcheon.
The mayor said it correctly. Let's be weather alert and let's prepare ahead of time. Most people that's lived in this area for any length of time knows that we can have severe weather and it can be catastrophic for our area, so we want to make sure we're prepared for that. I wanted to mention that we have been out today checking our community storm shelters and making sure that they are up and running and functioning. We work with our district commissioners and also our volunteer fire departments. So those locations will be posted on the county website, and they'll be up to date. And so find out which one is closest to you, and if you need that shelter, please go to it and make sure we're taking care of each other. Also, take care of your neighbors. Another thing that I would like to mention too, and sometimes we forget about it, is that let's in our preparations today, as we start preparing today, make sure you have some gas in your car. So I can remember we've had some bad weather come through here and lost power for days and days and days, and it was hard to get fuel. So just make sure you've got enough fuel in your vehicles where if you have an emergency, you can get out. Our commissioners are working. They have the equipment and they're doing checks on all of their equipment now. They will have somebody that if we have a weather event that's going to need some attention, then our commissioners will have people there at the district offices, and there'll be somebody there on the phones. Also, call the Madison County Fire 911. They have a direct contact with our volunteer fire departments and some of our outlying areas, and that way we can get help where it's needed quickly. We'll be working directly with Chief McFarland and the city of Madison and Huntsville and coordinating all of our work together to make sure that we get the services out to the people if we have this event. But now's time to prepare, and please, please, please be weather alert. Thank you.
All right, Wes Kelly from Huntsville Utilities.
Good afternoon. As has been said, everyone needs to be taking this seriously, and at Huntsville Utilities, we are certainly taking this upcoming weather event very seriously. We have a number of crews on standby. Basically, everybody that knows how to put the lights back on is going to be standing ready to do what needs to be done to make sure that happens. We've got both Huntsville utility crews and contract crews that are in the area and ready to assist. Our equipment is fueled up and ready to go. I would encourage you to make use of our website, hsvutil.org, to check our power outage map as these conditions blow through. I'll remind you that because of the nature of this storm and the multiple waves, the safety of our crews is important to us, critically important to us. And so we don't want our crews out working when another set of major, potentially tornadic events could be taking place. So that may affect the restoration of this event. This will not be a one and done kind of storm. And so we'll be taking necessary precautions to make sure that our team is safe, and when it is safe to do so, they will be out just as quick as they can to get power restored to everyone in Madison County. I appreciate the coordination that we've had with the city, with the county, with EMA, and the guidance that we always receive from the National Weather Service. It is a great support to us so that we can do what we need to do to make sure the infrastructure works for the citizens in this community. Thank you.
All right, now we'll go to Chris McNeese from Huntsville Public Works.
Thank you, Jeff. I'll keep this simple. What we encourage everyone to do, as Chairman McCutcheon and Wes Kelly said, check on your loved ones, make sure that you have a plan for your home, make sure you have an emergency plan to follow. Our game at Public Works is going to be simple. We're going to have crews staged on site. We'll be ready to respond once the weather conditions are safe, not only for you guys, for the public, but also for our crews as well. So depending on how long the event is, we got to make sure that the event leaves the city Huntsville area so that we can safely respond to certain areas of concern. So please know that it may take just a little bit longer to respond if this is a prolonged event, and we'll do our best to coordinate closely with HPD, county commissioners, and Huntsville Fire if there is a need. So if you have any trees that are down, if you have areas of concerns where there's damage, we know that sometimes there's an urge to get out and sightsee after the event rolls through. We strongly encourage everyone to try to fight those urges to get out and sightsee. Let's make sure that we stay out of the way for the personnel that's responding, whether it's fire, police, Huntsville Utilities, because we're going to have to rely on Huntsville Utilities to clear all lines out of downed trees, if there are downed trees. We're going to have those access points to those areas of concern, have them clear. So we strongly encourage everyone to stay clear of any damaged areas so that we can arrive on site and have free access to come in and do our best to help everyone get back to a sense of normalcy after this event. Other than that, we'll have crews on site ready to respond. Thank you.
Now we'll go to Captain Stephen Anderson from Huntsville Police Department.
Good afternoon. Our primary focus with this event is the safety of the public as we prepare for the rounds of showers and storms expected over this weekend. It's important to note that these strong to severe storms could produce damaging winds, tornadoes, and large hail. We're asking people to stay informed about the forecast and take necessary precautions to ensure their safety. In the event of severe weather, road conditions could change rapidly. We want everyone to be prepared for that. HPD will be closely monitoring road conditions throughout the event. We strongly encourage all drivers to avoid unnecessary travel. However, if travel is essential, we ask that they reduce speed, increase following distance, and exercise extreme caution on the roadways. Our officers are always on standby and ready to respond swiftly to accidents or other emergencies as the storm progresses through the area. We have coordinated with local emergency services to ensure a rapid response in the cases of power outages, downed trees, and other hazardous conditions that may arise. HPD will be actively using our social media and other channels of local news outlets to provide timely updates regarding road conditions, accidents, and other key information for the public. We encourage the public to use these social media and other media channels for real-time alerts and to sign up for the city alerts to stay informed during the storm. HPD is always maintaining a close partnership with other city and county officials as well as utilities companies to ensure a well-coordinated response to the storm. Our collaborative efforts will help us provide to the public accurate information and timely updates as the situation progresses. So our officers are always equipped with the necessary equipment and resources to manage adverse conditions, and we will be fully prepared to respond effectively to whatever circumstances may arise, and will ensure the safety of the public throughout the storm. Thank you.
Chief Matt McFarland from Huntsville Fire Department.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let's all hope that we get to stay safe. We're kind of preparing for the worst and hoping everything goes a lot better than that. But a couple of words that I'd like to share with you, stuff that's already been talked about. Let's hope we don't have anything major. If we do, the main thing is what you can do ahead of time, and that's prepare. Be figuring out where your safe space is, where you're going to go to. Make those decisions early on. Talk with your family. Know where extended family is in case we have outages communications so that you know everyone's okay. That's what you can do up front. If we do have an emergency, a couple of things to think about. If a tornado comes through and we get a touchdown and you're in the area, if you're in a safe space, stay in a safe space. Don't be out looking around as they talked about, because a lot of things that you won't think about, if we get trees down, we get power lines down. A quick example would be if you've got a chain link fence that runs your neighborhood, it may go through 4 or 5 yards. One of the things we have to teach our responders to watch for, if you have one energized line from a power line hit that chain link fence, that whole chain link fence is energized through that whole neighborhood. The first one that reaches and getting the gate to go in somewhere has got a major problem. So there's just a lot of safety hazards that go with it until us, utilities, everyone else gets to clear that area. Give us time to get that cleared so we can keep you safe. As far as Huntsville Fire and Rescue, we are up staffing. We usually do. We know storms like this are coming in just in case they do, and so we can meet the call volume when it comes in, because we know there'll be several fire alarms go off if we have electricity blinking, but they may be real events. Should we have an event, again, try to stay in a safe place. We're going to work a community. If we have an area that's hit, we're going to set up a command, and we'll work jointly with all of the players that are up here. Huntsville Utilities, HEMC, Huntsville Police, all the law enforcement agencies. If we need whoever else we need, if we call in backup, we will. But we will do it methodically and put a plan in place to get everything back to normal as fast as we can. But just stay safe and thoughtful in what you do out there. Thank you.
And finally, we'll go to Mr. Don Webster from HEMC.
Well, we too, like the other public safety agencies and law enforcement, we'll be staffing up. We'll have additional ambulances and emergency medical services provided. We're working with all the other agencies and coordinating, especially if we do have a touchdown or a wind shear or something like that. A lot of good advice has been passed on today, but like Chairman McCutcheon said, is make sure your gas is, that you got gas. Make sure when you're getting the gas, if you're on prescribed medications, if you have medical issues and take medication, put a couple extra days worth in your pocket or in your purse or something like that, because if you go off and your house gets destroyed, you might not be able to find that medicine, and the CVS, Walgreens may not be open. So take that medicine, and that's the advice we have, and we hope everybody stays safe. Thank you.
All right, so this is the last scheduled briefing we have as of now. Of course, if we feel the need or the need is there for us to schedule another one, I know Adam and his folks will get with all the entities and we will do that. So with that being said, I will open it up for a few questions.
I'm not sure who's the best person to answer this question, but we've had a lot of viewers email us that live in apartment complexes. They're wondering, maybe I'm on the 4th floor, I don't know my neighbors downstairs. Where should people be going, especially if you live in an apartment in this situation?
Yeah, so that I don't miss anything, what I would advise is you can go to our website. There is a whole list of what to do, where to go, and so on and so forth. It's a pretty extensive list. I would advise to go to MadisonCountyALEMA.gov. and you will be able to find that information out. Best places to stay.
We've also talked about, there are about 14 shelters throughout the community and the county specifically. With capacity being about 200 at most of them, are you guys concerned that with the storms coming in, too many people might be trying to go to those shelters?
Yeah, I mean, and that's a legitimate question, but I mean, there's not a whole lot that you can do about that. So what I would advise is come up with a plan. Part of that plan needs to be whether you are going to go somewhere or you're going to stay in place. And of those shelters that are out there, make sure you contact them today. EMA or none of the entities here actually own those shelters. Other entities run them or operate them. So you may have different sets of rules for each one. Some may take pets, some may not. So you need to contact them today. Do they open during the tornado watch? What is the parameters for them to open? And find that information out now. If you're going to stay shelter in place, again, go to our website. There's some guidance there. Be on the lowest floor, center of the house, things of that nature that can guide people to a safer environment.
You had mentioned before that there are plenty of storm shelters throughout the county that people can go to. Are there any specific within the Huntsville city limits that people can point to where they can go to these storm shelters?
So the shelters that we list on our website are FEMA compliant shelters. And we do that because we know there's standards out there that are met to withstand certain types of storms. Now, does that mean that there are not other non-FEMA compliant shelters throughout the whole county? The answer is yes. We don't keep track of those because of the standard. So, yeah. Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just stay out of trouble. I just tell him, just go ahead and say words. Don't say words. Tommy, talk for us. Okay.